Coming up tonight, the race to the Golden Isles finish line. In just hours, nearly 8,000 registered voters head to the Golden Isles by-election polls. But how did we get here, and what could results mean? Our Candino Knowles has the recap. But first, police are asking the public's help in locating 35-year-old escapee Michael Thompson. Police say he was in custody for multiple warrants before making good his escape. And later, empowering young women across Grand Bahama, the Aim High Girls Club hosting another conference for over 90 students. We've got the details for these stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. Police are searching for a man who escaped lawful custody yesterday shortly after 1 p.m. Michael Thompson, born February 20th, 1990, was in custody for multiple warrants when he escaped from the Nassau Street police station. He is described as having dreadlocks and was last seen wearing a black shirt and black short trousers. Police are appealing to members of the public who may have information on his whereabouts to contact 911, 919, or your nearest police station. Police also reminding the public that harboring or assisting a fugitive is an offense under Bahamian law. Police are also investigating a suspicious death involving a 48-year-old female of Singapore nationality. According to reports, police were alerted that an injured woman had been airlifted to New Providence from Highbourne Key, Exuma, on a private aircraft shortly after 8 p.m. yesterday to seek medical attention. Shortly after, she succumbed to her injuries while hospitalized. It is alleged that the victim was riding a bicycle when she lost control and collided with a wall, sustaining severe injuries. An autopsy will be conducted to determine the exact cause of death. Well, as voters get ready to head to the polls in Golden Isles on Monday for a high-stakes by-election, Candino Knowles reports how low turnout and the absence of a popular incumbent could make this race far more competitive than 2021.
The last certified results from Golden Isles, the official Form R, paints a clear picture of what happened in 2021. The late Von Miller won big, pulling in 2,471 votes and finishing more than 600 votes ahead of his closest challenger, Brian Brown. But that document also revealed something else. Turnout was just about 63%, low by Bahamian election standards, especially in a year when national sentiment was high. Fast forward to today, and that turnout concern has only grown. Golden Isles now has 7,926 registered voters, the largest constituency register in the entire Bahamas, a number far higher than the last election cycle, which saw a register of 7,391. And now with voters taking to the polls in a by-election to choose their next representative, some observers say that low turnout could become the deciding factor. This time around, 4 new candidates squaring off. The Progressive Liberal Party has political newcomer Darren Pickstock, the Free National Movement bringing back Brian Brown, the same candidate who finished second in 2021 and still has a strong base. The Coalition of Independents is running Brian Roll, and Karen Kim Butler is on the ballot as an independent. But without Von Miller, some political analysts say the PLP can't assume the same 2021 numbers will automatically transfer to a new candidate. Observers also point out that the 2021 landslide was fueled by national issues, pandemic fatigue, economic pain, and the handling of post-Dorian recovery. But they say Monday's race may not be driven by that same level of emotion. And that's why, despite Golden Isles looking like a safe PLP seat in 2021, the race is now considered wide open. Advanced polling may offer a preview. Of the 283 eligible advanced voters, 249 showed up, roughly 88%. A strong early turnout, but observers across the political spectrum caution that advanced poll voters tend to be the most motivated, not the average voter. Monday will reveal which campaign or which candidate can actually motivate their supporters. Reporting for Our News, I'm Candino Knowles.
Well, one of those four candidates vying to win that Golden Isle seat is Brian Roll of the Coalition of Independents, the party hosting their final rally dubbed Blackout Rally ahead of tomorrow's big vote. Our Danielle Miller was there as several speakers threw their support behind Roll, while the party's leader added his voice to the ongoing passport drama. Take a look.
Stand together because change isn't coming. The change is here.
The familiar chant by the Coalition of Independents rattling through the Golden Isles constituency Saturday night. The party hosting their final pre-by-election campaign effort on Carmichael Road, dubbed the Blackout Rally. Over 100 supporters endlessly waving the country's flag and shaking pom-poms.
The COI had an extensive list of speakers on the evening's program, all of them endorsing their candidate, Brian Roll. One of those speakers was the coalition's national chairman, Charlotte Green.
Golden Isle, you don't just have a candidate, you have a champion.
Now vying to be the area's next MP, Roll accused both major political parties of failing the Golden Isles constituency over the years. He told supporters that under his leadership, change will be evident, adding that he plans to launch a sports program, a scholarship initiative, support businesses in the area, and establish community farming.
We also know that a strong community is a self-sustaining one. Together, we will create a community garden, a place where families can grow fresh organic foods, share knowledge, and promote food security right here at home.
And rounding out the list of featured speakers, party leader Lincoln Bain, telling voters that Monday could be a turning point in the country's history.
By voting for Brian Roll, I got that right? By voting for Brian Roll, they could shift this entire political landscape.
And before the night came to an end, Bain also took the opportunity to weigh in on the ongoing saga surrounding unaccompanied passports to Haiti, making it clear he does not believe allegations levied by opposition leader Michael Pintard.
I want to say to all of you that this whole thing with Michael Pintard and the bags and the planes and all that, Michael Pintard made up that story, that specific story. All right? That is not true. I talked to the people at Bahamas.
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
And be sure to join our news tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. on your favorite social media platform for coverage of the Golden Isles by-election. And tune in to Channel 212 for a special broadcast of our news beginning at 6 p.m. Well, calls for a sweeping legislative reform in the private security industry topping the agenda at the Private Security Awareness and Protection Seminar. The event bringing together industry stakeholders at the police headquarters on Friday to discuss modernizing the sector. Officials say the current Private Sector Security Services Act, introduced in 1970, is outdated and falls short of modern security demands. The need for enhanced training, improved access to technology, and stronger legal protection for officers also key concerns. Samuel Smith, who heads the Private Sector Security Service Unit at the Ministry of National Security, says raising industry standards is long overdue.
When you look at, like I say, how things are changing in this country especially, guards should be able to protect themselves some which way or the other, right? We had a situation, I think, in Grand Bahama the other day where a guard was accosted, beaten, right? But the thing is, they were assisted by the police in ensuring that their safety are retained. But moving forward, like I said, we are going through the arc. We are getting feedback from the security guard companies and the freelance security guard companies, right? We are getting feedback from them, and moving forward, the government will then decide what we will do.
Among the proposals being considered, whether officers should be allowed to carry non-lethal or even lethal weapons, given rising threats on the job. Smith confirms consultations are underway with companies nationwide, including Family Island firms weighing in. Azure Security Services Manager Arlene Anderson says the reality on the ground may now call for stronger defense tools.
I have mixed emotions in that regard. I think that currently our criminal element speaks to a change. I think that lethal weapons are necessary at this point, and I think it's something worth talking around and moving towards.
Well, as government launches its national survey on productivity, how effective is it? How will it impact the tourism industry? And what role will technology play? Our Joshua Williams spoke with board members on the council at the Bahamas Red Cross and has this report. Take a look.
The Ministry of Labor and Public Service launching a landmark initiative, a national survey, aimed at driving productivity, innovation and economic resilience. The Bahamas Productivity, Innovation and Competitiveness Council launching the survey as part of government's efforts to improve workplace productivity. But will this affect the tourism industry? Well, former Tourism Minister Vincent Vanderpool Wallace serves as Deputy Chairman of the Council. He says the initiative will be key in improving soft skills in the industry.
One of the mistakes that I think many people make is looking at things that are very easily measured and forget those things that may not be so easily measured but are extremely important. And those soft skills when you're dealing with people, dealing with communications, and dealing with personal qualities.
As technology gets better, we've been introduced to artificial intelligence. It's become a tool that almost anyone can use. So, can this new reality and the use of technology impact productivity in the workplace?
Everything is being done electronically, right? And as people respond, because of artificial intelligence, because of other technology and digital advancements, we are able to monitor the responses in real time, right? So if I wanted to, and I don't, but if I wanted to, I'll put the results on the screen to show you the live workings of the service as people are responding.
But at the end of the day, how effective will this study be? And what's the long-term goal of it?
It's really to improve the standard of living and the quality of life for all Bahamians. I mean, that's the bottom line. That's really what it is that we are trying to do. And we are now identifying those factors that lead to that.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thank you so much, Josh. When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, shaping young women of the future, how a veteran broadcast journalist in Grand Bahama is doing her part to lead the way. We'll tell you all about it when Our News Weekend continues.
Of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC is finger licking good.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
The monies are out there. It's just having the knowledge and being exposed.
And you're going to see us throughout the Bahamas teaching women that we have to build each other.
We have been able to support over 2,500 small businesses.
Host Dr. Deborah Bartlett joins the Department of Gender and Family Affairs as they assist small businesses in their growth and development. Tune in Wednesday, November 5th at 8 p.m. on Rev TV Channel 212 for taking social services to the people.
The Aim High Girls Club recently hosted a character-building conference designed to empower young girls across Grand Bahama. Founder and veteran broadcaster Sabrina Brown says the goal of the mentoring organization is to pour positive values into young people at a time when so many social challenges are affecting them. She says they are the future of the country and the world. 3 speakers headlined the event: Kaylisa Sands, a senior guidance counselor, and veteran educators Evelyn Pinderdames and Dr. Carl Johnson. 10 schools were represented with 90 girls in attendance.
If we pour nothing good into them, then what do we expect to get? And so if we plant good seeds into their lives, that is what we will see being manifested in years to come, because the Bible tells us that you shall reap what you sow.
Principal of King's Academy, Sophia Howden, says the conference is an important tool in shaping young women and a powerful way to capture their attention.
One of the things she said is, girls with character can change the world. I just want to alter that a little bit. Girls with character do change the world. And so this particular event is something that I would wish for every female student in Grand Bahama to have been able to attend, because it causes them to recognize their value. It causes them to understand the impact they can have, not just on their immediate circle, but to their broader circle, and definitely not just to the nation, but to the world.
Awesome initiative, Sabrina. Love to see it. Still to come on Our News Weekend, Part 2. Our Danielle Miller is back with more words of wisdom from Cable Bahamas' 2025 Inspire Her Conference. We've got another look, but first...
Baha Mar hosts a tennis clinic with a professional, and the Bahamas rugby team wins a day down in Trinidad. We'll get into all that next on our Sports Weekend.
From the field to the fresh market, you will find fresh, delicious, mouth-watering produce and meat. Discover organic, specialty, and healthy grocery products for everyday cooking. Your adventure awaits. Experience the fresh escape. Sign up today for My Solomon Smart Rewards at Solomon's Fresh Market.
No need to daydream no more when you can walk into Automall Bahamas and drive off in your favorite vehicle today. Take the stress out of car ownership with our extended 5-year warranty. As the automobile trailblazers, we offer genuine parts and carry a large inventory at all times for your convenience. Maintenance is never a problem. Our team of factory-trained technicians are equipped and always ready. Don't forget to visit our pre-owned department and multiple showrooms. So what are you waiting on? Drive off worry-free with our 5-year warranty.
Hey, you going with me to the store? No, that's straight. My boy got me. And then cool.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. Baha Mar is always looking to share the sport of tennis with the Bahamian public in hopes of growing the sport throughout the country. This morning, they brought in a top-level tennis pro to share some game. We got a chance to check it out.
I knew the McEnroe Tennis Center in New York, and they put us in contact, and thankfully Darren was really helpful, and he tried to make sure that we had all the training times possible that we needed.
That's tennis pro Francesca Jones, a WTA Top 100 player. The UK native was in the Bahamas describing the chain of events that led to her conducting tennis clinics for kids and adults at the John McEnroe Tennis Center at Baha Mar. The event featured a 1-hour session for kids and one for adults with about 20 participants in total, where they had the opportunity to get advice from a world-class professional.
Like a couple of them play on a daily basis, but others don't. So we were trying to get them to do some basic tennis exercises just to get used to the feel of the racket head and how to hit under the ball. There was a little bit of running going on, but I think a couple of them didn't want to be doing that on a Sunday morning. So we tried to change it up and show them a couple more technical, easier exercises.
Darren Donaldson, director of rackets at Baha Mar, talked about what it took to execute this event with such short notice.
Baha Mar has a lot of persons come here, you know, celebrities, superstars, pros, professionals, and part of our experience is to share that with the community, share that with hotel guests, and just share experiences. And so Fran Peoples reached out to our people. We got wind that she was coming, and then we got it all together. And it's a privilege. It's a great privilege to have her here, and for her to share her talents. The kids asked her questions about her experience. They asked about college opportunities, and she actually told them, you know, reach out to me if you have any questions. So I thought that was pretty kind and cool of her to give her time.
And they're always hosting clinics, and they have a big tournament coming up in a couple weeks. So check Baha Mar's socials if you want to participate. Now we head back down south where the Bahamas national rugby team had themselves a day. Team Bahamas stepped their game up yesterday, winning both of their matches in the Rugby Americas North Sevens tournament in Arima, Trinidad. They toughed out their first win, taking down St. Lucia in a 13-10 barn burner at 11 a.m. before turning around and throttling St. Vincent and the Grenadines 17-0 at 2:50 to finish the day 2-0. With their perfect day, they finished the round-robin portion of the tournament 3-1, advancing to the quarterfinals this morning. Then they played the British Virgin Islands, falling 17-7. That put them in the bronze medal match. And that bronze medal match was played early today, so we'll get the score to you when we get a chance. That's wrap for sports this evening for our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. I'll catch you again on Saturday.
Thanks so much for that, Tej. On the other side of this break, meteorologist Ian McKinsey steps into the weather center. He's going to look at temperatures across the country to help you prepare for the busy work week ahead. Stick with us.
Thank you, Camp, for one of the hottest tracks I ever heard. Goddamn, that's down, right, rugged track, down south, loving that feeling, that catching them vibes, yeah. Goes deep, I can feel it through my system. Bass kicking, yeah, baby, get some. I'm riding down this whole song while I'm swerving on my drive, yeah, yeah. Don't stop, got my foot on the pedal. So hot that I could just rap off to the thump while I bump it up, yeah, yeah. Now you can't find me while I'm driving, yeah. You can't find
No need to daydream when you can drive off with a brand new car from Aurnews, Bahamas today.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this thankful Thanksgiving Sunday. Here's a look now at your Sunday evening forecast. We have mostly clear skies on the outside. Temperature of 74, feels like at 76. Winds from the northeast at 7 miles per hour. Across the country, we have 73 in Freeport as well as Great Harbor Key, 76 in Alistown, a trio of 74s in Nicholstown, the capital, and in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, 72 in Marsh Harbor, Abaco. Central Bahamas, those 76 dominating Camp Bay, Black Point, Georgetown, and in Deadman's Key, Long Island. A pair of 74s in Port Nelson, Rum Key, and Coburn Town, 72 in Arthurstown, Kidd Island. Southeast Bahamas, Duncantown, Ragged Island at 78, 76s in Colonel Hill, Delectable Bay as well. Matthew Town at 78, 77 in Abrahams Bay, and 79 in Providenciales, Turks, and Caicos. Satellite and radar composite at this time, we have a weak high pressure system that's across our area. This will slide towards the east courtesy of a weak frontal system that should park just to the north of the extreme northwest Bahamas sometime late tonight into Tuesday, then eventually retrogress back as a warm front by Wednesday. Another frontal system is expected to push just across the northwest Bahamas by Thursday, Friday. We'll tell you more about that in the extended forecast. Tropics remain quiet at this time, 1 week left in the season, and it remains quiet for the next 7 days. Taking a look at your boating forecast for the northwest and central Bahamas, those winds are northeast-east around 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the ocean, high tide at 9:40 p.m. tonight, low tide at 3:46 a.m. tomorrow morning. For the southeast Bahamas, we have a caution in place for you boaters, and there is a moderate to high risk of rip currents for you swimmers. Winds northeast-east 15 to 20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the ocean. In your extended forecast, we're looking at pretty comfortable conditions through most of the week. By about midweek, we have that frontal system that should clip the northwest Bahamas, increasing rain chances. The problem with that frontal system, it should become pretty much stationary, hang around, which should increase rain chances into next weekend. So enjoy the first part of this Thanksgiving week before the expected rain comes the end of the week. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, productive week, everyone.
Much Ian, and now we bring you another look inside Cable Bahamas' group of companies event Inspire Her 2025. Last night we gave you a snippet of the advice shared by guest speaker and Emmy winner Tabitha Brown. In this next report, our Danielle Miller speaks to the keynote speaker, media powerhouse Deborah Lee.
Thursday night was one for the books as Cable Bahamas' group of companies hosted their sold out event Inspire Her. With more than 1,000 women in the room, the energy was fueled by the desire to elevate while giving and receiving empowerment and enrichment. The company's marketing team summed up the event with this one simple phrase. The guest speaker for the event was actress, entrepreneur, and social media sensation Tabitha Brown. Media powerhouse, former CEO of BET Network, Deborah Lee served as keynote speaker. Lee sharing with the audience her journey of restructuring the network's executive team and creating a sisterhood within the company. She tells me she not only curated this atmosphere in the boardroom, but also within the entertainment industry.
I never saw other women as competition. In the women in hip hop, I always said I'm not a prude. I liked sexy, and I wanted the women, the background dancers, I wanted them to be sexy, but I didn't want them to look trashy. And there's a big difference. And I had to send one of my lawyers to look at every costume the dancers were going to wear. And over time, labels got that.
To cap off the enriching evening, we took off our heels and cut up on the dance floor.
What's the doll?
Reporting for our news, I'm Danielle Miller.
Well, the ultimate giveaway continuing to heat up, and our weekly trivia challenge is keeping the fun rolling as we count down to the brand new 2025 Hyundai Creta. Last week's question was, what road safety tip can save your life? Lots of you got it right, but there can only be one winner. Congratulations to you, Shannon Cunningham. You've just scored a gas voucher from our friends at Alive and Auto Mall. And if your name wasn't called tonight, we've got a new question dropping this week. Remember to follow our news on your favorite social media platforms and tune in weekly. That Hyundai Creta may just be yours come December. To learn more, head over to ournews.bs/ultimate giveaway. And with that, we thank you so much for joining us for our news weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepard. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepard here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.